Hello everyone and welcome to our quarterfinals of the Metronome League. Um, so in our first matchup, we will have Bats taking on Ore. And Bat starts off with Metagross and Smeargle for Ore. Probably the expected matchup here. An Eerie Spell doing a lot of damage. Uh, Smeargle went for Victory Dance. Not really going to help. It's a Smeargle, and Smeargle doesn't have any victories. But Roaring Moon has an Aqua Ring up. That could be really helpful for them. Assurance doing a lot of damage there. Lick doesn't do very much, and it's just going to be nullified by the Aqua Ring. Hyper Beam doing a decent amount, but Metagross has that recharge there. Flash Cannon, of course, is resisted by the Steel type. Steel Wing does take it out. The crit might have mattered. I'm not too sure if it did there. Quiver Dance, and that could help a lot there. Meteor Beam going to be coming out for the Dragonite there, and it will connect and does a decent chunk of damage there. Tail Slap now, and that hits 5 times. Oh, but Ice Fang for super effective damage, and it takes out the Roaring Moon. Dragonite going for Harden, upping its defensive stat. Torch Song from Misty, not doing very much. And Shore Up now, healing it back up to full. Shadow Force, but Ingrain. But the Shadow Force does take it out because it is super effective. Uh, Shockwave, not doing too much. Crab Hammer does a decent chunk there. Gravity, once again, I'm not really sure what the point of that was, but Eerie Impulse lowers the Dragonite special attack, and Idol is now a water type. And Roleplay, and now the Dust Noir has multi-scale. Payback coming out from Idol. Tea Time, both having to eat their berries now. Swagger, which confuses the Meow Stick, and it does hit itself in confusion. And it's also paralyzed, but it breaks through both of those Night Days. I think that would have been super effective if it was still a ghost type. Uh, it gets no retreat with all those stat boosts, but its accuracy may be a problem here. Mark Punch it goes for now. Aqua Step is resisted because, it is a water type. Rock Polish there. It tried to soak it again, but it's already a water type. What are you doing? You can't double soak it. You can't make it a water type. I don't get how that works. Cotton Spore lowers its speed, but as Prankster, so it doesn't matter. The poison will take the Dust Noir out, and Bats takes game number 1 here as we move on to game number 2. Metagross and Smeargle once again the start. Wild Bolt Storm from the Smeargle misses. Peck doing a decent chunk to the Smeargle. Throat Chop is super effective, but it only did 6% because, Smeagol. And rare sight of Throat Chop actually disabling a move. Poison Jab, no, can't work on a Steel type. And Smeagol is already down once again. Dusk Noir hit. Play Rough is resisted by Metagross. Light Scream, making it stronger against special type moves. Scale Shot will hit 4 times as Misty, the Starmie, comes out here and Flower Trick does a ton of damage. Defend Order, but I'm not sure if that's really going to help, and it does not. Shockwave takes it down. Dusknoir comes back out here. Tailwind now. I think the Metagross, I think it was faster either way, but Pain Split there, not really sure what that did to help either side. Safeguard, Smart Strike does a decent amount of damage there. Axe Kick, doing a little bit there. The Tailwind is now gone, and Imprison! And that, I think, seals the game. Roaring Moon comes out, but it doesn't really matter. The Imprison will not go away. Only 12% to the Metagross there. Cross Poison, and the Roaring Moon will go down here. And Waterfall fails, there's nothing on the field. And I think that it's over now, and this is the last turn of the game. And it is Bats who takes round 2 4-0. As we move on to our third match in the best of 5, Bats only has to win this match and they are through to the semi-finals. Close combat from Misty the Starmie, which was a new start from Ore, and Rising Voltage did a lot of damage there. Dazzling Gleam not going to do very much as Swift takes the Starmie down. Roaring Moon out now. Yawn making the Metagross drowsy. Bats doesn't opt to switch though, which is a bit interesting, but the uproar saves it from sleeping. That was a genius play from the Metagross, and that's going to help Metagross very much there. Volt Switch, Roaring Moon switches into the Dusknoir now, but Misty Explosion as the Metagross is down. Stored Power there. Zen Headbutt doing a decent chunk of damage to the Dragonite. Full Swipe, it won't work on a Ghost type as Acid comes out there. Electro Ball there. Power Gem and Gigaton Hammer doesn't quite KO the Dusknoir, but it goes down to the Heavy Slam there as Roaring Moon comes back out. And they caught change the rocks onto their side. I don't think that was a very smart play from the Roaring Moon. And Glaive Rush takes out the Dragonite. Has to switch into Indeedee since Prankster won't work on the Roaring Moon. It is a Dark type. Oh, but now it can switch out because the Roaring Moon is down. Indeedee, and Smeargle is trapped in a whirlpool, and it's probably going to be ended soon. This match Mist prevents it from having any status conditions. Fake Out won't work. It isn't the first turn on the field for it. Keeps taking that chip damage. Stun Spore, it missed, but I don't think it would have worked anyway. Oh, but Smeargle gets Stun Spore and gets the paralysis, knocking off its Leopard Berry, and Throat Chop does get rid of the Smeargle, and Bats will move on to the semi-final, winning the set 3-0 as we move on to our second round of the quarterfinals, which will be Jet against Mercy, as they start off with Butterfree and Gyarados, 2 Gen 1 Pokemon here, and Bitterblade doing a load of damage. It is a Fire-type move there. Aqua Step upping the Butterfree's speed for a little bit of damage there. Work Up upping the Gyarados' attack and special attack. Play Nice, it has Defiant. What are you doing? I don't think that is a great play there. It only upped its attack. Noble Roar, lowering the attack and special attack of the Lucario. It does have that defense boost, but Fire Lash still did a ton of damage, lowering the Lucario's defense by a little bit. Water Shuriken, it's once, twice, only twice. Mercy, I think, would have been hoping for more there. Draining Kiss, healing the Gyarados up by a little bit. Endeavor does a ton of damage there. Fury swipes once, twice, three times, four times. Will it get the fifth? It does get the fifth. Lucario almost down here, but reversal does take the Gyarados out. Now, who? The Sweebat comes out. High horsepower, that wasn't a great play. It has Earth Eater. I'm not sure what some of these plays by the Pokemon are. And beat up hitting three times since there are three Pokemon left on Jet's team. It is super effective, and Jaw Lock takes the Swoobat out, and suddenly the game shifts into Jet's favor. Wild Charge doing a little bit of damage, also a little bit of recoil there. Razor Leaf does a little bit there. Rock Tomb doesn't really do very much, as Shadow Ball finally takes the Lucario out. Mega Punch misses Chuck the throw. Shadow Sneak, not very effective damage there. Rock Smash, lowering the defense of Chuck as it ups its special stats. Teeter Dance will miss as the Grimmsnarl did use Phantom Force, and it does a lot of damage as it gets a critical hit and no retreat coming out from the Grimmsnarl. Oh, but Whirlwind gets rid of the no retreat stat boosts. That is going to be very unfortunate for Grimmsnarl. My dreams. Calm Mind once again coming out from the throw, but Poison Jab will take it out as Chair the Ferrothorn comes out for Jet. Acrobatics does a bit of damage, but it does take Iron Barb's damage. A great ability for Chair to have. Brick Break for some super effective damage there, but Head Smash does take the Grimmsnarl out as Periodic Smack the Garganical comes out now. Wave Crash for a load of damage there, but the recoil though, and Wood Hammer does not take the Ferrothorn out here. Knockoff gets rid of its Leper Berry, but can it does take the Ferrothorn out. Mercy will take a 1-0 lead in this set. Moving on to our second battle now, we have Lucario and Gyarados starting the battle off here. Mist making it immune to status conditions, but it can still be confused though. Incinerate burning the Leper Berry of Gyarados as Jet switches into Butterfree to resist the damage. Gyro Ball does a little bit there. Pin Missile now hitting three times. Torch Song for some super effective damage. Didn't do as much as I'd expect it to, as Gyarados goes for Explosion, and both of them are gone now. Butterfree, and it's made a 3v3. Lucario tries to go for Lunar Blessing, but of course it can't heal, as it is put to sleep now. Lash Out for resisted damage, as the Lucario already wakes up. Grassy Glide doing a little bit. Force Palm, Slam misses the Swoobat there. Rock Tomb doing a little bit of damage there. Surf does a ton of damage to Swoobat there. Dire Claw and Double Team upping the evasion of Lucario, which can help a lot as Swoobat goes for Curse, and which ups its defense and attack as they both have minus speed now, but Shadow Ball does take the sweeper out as Grimmsnarl is going to be coming out now as Iron Tail misses. That evasion could be coming into play here. Bone Rush hitting 4 times to the Grimmsnarl. Entrainment misses now. I think it tried to give Lucario Prankster. I'm not sure how either team would have felt about that. Fell Stinger, a little bit of damage there. Side Shield Bash doing a little bit as Volt Tackle does take down the Grimmsnarl as Garganical is now in a 3v1 situation with Circle Throw doing a lot of damage. Cotton Guard upping its defense drastically as Ember comes out. Hypnosis misses the Lucario. Water Spout doing a load of damage here. Lucario having to eat its Lappa Berry there. Pin Missile not going to do a lot as Jack switches into Chair, and Chair is confused now. Magic Room and Chair hits itself in confusion. Fire Lash for a load of damage, but Iron Barbs will take the Garganical out, and that will tie it up at 1-1 as we go on to our third battle here. It's Lucario and Gyarados starting us off. Twister flinches the Gyarados immediately. It can't do anything. Darkest Lariat does a ton of damage. Close Combat is going to do a ton of damage to Lucario there for super effective damage. Shadow Force coming out as Bouncy does have lower defense, special defense. Oh, but good switch from Mercy to go into Grimmsnarl to resist the damage, but it immediately switches back into Bouncy. The Gyarados Scale Shot hits once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Will it get the 5th? It does get the 5th, and the Lucario is down. Here comes Chuck the Throw now. Entrainment giving Chuck Defiant now. Soak making it a Gyarados a pure water type, and Pain Split a good play for the Gyarados there. Terrain Pulse, there's not a terrain up on the field, so it won't do very much. Flail there. Eruption is going to do a little bit of damage, not too much. Present does get the damage. Throat Chop here, resist the damage. It can't use sound moves now. Lava Plume there. Amnesia upping the special defense of the Gyarados. Oh, and seems like Throw used Copycat and also used Amnesia as Inferno comes out here and gets the burn on Gyarados. Reversal doesn't quite take the throw down as Defiant comes into play now. Block, it can't escape. I don't know if... Oh, but Wish! Wish can heal it if it doesn't kill. And it won't kill. Eerie Spell, there. As the throw heals from, the Wish. Energy Ball there, doing a little bit of damage. Here comes Bullet Seed, which hits 3 times there, but it does keep taking bind damage. Iron Tail, Flash Cannon, and I think it goes down to the bind. And somehow, once again, this match is swung into Jet's favor, but oh, Zen Headbutt finally takes the throw down. Esperwin, upping the speed of the Grimmsnarl. Not that it mattered, since it does have Prankster. False Swipe, doing a little bit of damage now, but Explosion once again when the Butterfree's on the field, leaving it in a 1v1 situation with Ferrothorn and the Garganical, and once again the Ferrothorn is confused in this situation. Mudshot lowering the speed of the Ferrothorn, I don't think that really mattered. Noble Roar, attack order there. Double Team upping the evasion of Chair the Ferrothorn here, and that could play a huge part. As Belly Drum comes out, Focus Blast misses. It probably would have missed without that evasion boost anyway, because, you know, Focus Blast. But nasty plot and Chair's just setting up while the Garganical has a load of stat drops here, and it also has to deal with the iron barbs as well. It goes for withdraw, upping its defense up again, and its speed is lowered, and Flash Cannon takes out the Garganical as we move on to our fourth match in the set. It is 2-1 to Jet as we start off with Grimmsnarl and Lucario for our fourth match. Acrobatics coming out now. His Outrage is immune by the Fairy type Grimmsnarl. Focus Energy gives a critical hit boost to the Grimmsnarl as Roost comes out from. Oh, but Gigaton Hammer Oko's the Grimmsnarl there. Skitter Smack, lowering the special attack, but Define ups Gyarados' attack, and Drain Punch comes out and Oko's the Lucario, and they're both in a 3v3 situation after 5 turns. Bind going to do a load of chip damage, but Thunder Punch does a load of damage there. Slack Off immediately healing the Gyarados there. Extreme Speed does a decent chunk of damage. Power Trick coming out from Gyarados, and Workup up in the attack and special attack of the Butterfree. Screech misses Butterfree though. Tackle doing a little bit of damage there. Cotton Guard drastically upping the defense of Bouncy, and Psyshield Bash coming out as Butterfree is free from the bind there. Cross Poison there, and here comes Sunny Day as Butterfree already using a fire type move, but Defiant upping the Gyarados' attack even more as it goes for Magnet Rise. Not that it mattered, as it's flying type anyway. Mud Slap is immune by the other flying type on the field. Whirlwind does force the Butterfree out as Chair is out here as a Moonlight comes out from the Butterfree. Oh, and it Bouncy is Leech Seeded. It decides to stay in, but Synthesis. Chair does a funny splashing as Mercy does reluctantly finally decide to switch out as Jawlock did a ton of damage there, but Iron Barbs will take the Swoobat out there. And the Gyarados once again comes back in and it gets the Will-O-Wisp off. Torch Song doesn't do a whole load of damage, but it does up the special attack of Chair. Head Smash going to do recoil and iron barbs damage. It tried to tickle it, but you know, Defiant, and works twice there. Because it already tried to lower its defense as well. Retaliate coming out, doing a decent chunk of damage there. Trick Room, and I think that makes Chair faster now as it puts Bouncy to sleep. Chair continuing to be burned. Acid Spray lowering the special defense, but Defiant is a thing, but it's still asleep as Chair is going to go for Wish, which means if Gyarados doesn't wake up now, it will. And it does go for Earth Power, which means Ferrothorn will not heal, as Gust won't take out the Butterfree. Power Gem does take out the Gyarados there, and once again the Garganical has to take on the other two. But it goes for Heal Pulse. What are you doing? You're the only Pokemon left on the field. It's not a good move anyway, and what you're doing, you're basically giving yourself a death sentence, and you're sharing your power with a Butterfree. I don't know what Garganical is doing. It has an interesting strategy, to say the least. But and it goes for Memento. Well done. That was the greatest performance I've ever seen by a Pokemon in my life. I don't know what it just did, but Jet will take the set 3 sets to 1. 3 games to 1, I mean. As we move on to a third quarterfinal. It's going to be Maisie taking on Lapis. Maisie starting off with Ludicolo, whilst Lapis has Giga Chad the Metapod out, and it already falls asleep as Ludicolo tries to capitalize on it with a Swift there. Misty Terrain coming out, Dragon Breath, and Metapod wakes up. Confuse Ray won't work because of the Misty Terrain, and Metapod goes for Aqua Ring. Stomp does a decent amount there, double hit, hitting twice, of course, because it's double hit and does a decent amount of damage. Parabolic Charge does a decent amount and heals it back to full. Petal Dance coming out from Metapod as Water Spout will take the Metapod down. Growl lowering the attack of the Ludicolo. Revelation Dance coming out there. Facade Crush Chop. Soak making Cherry Cola a pure water type. And once again, Revelation Dance comes out there. Lick does not get the paralysis off there. Gyro Ball. That Mega Kick does a ton of damage. Outrage is immune by the fairy type. Horn Drill does land and it's a one-hit KO move. Hail yeah, the cast form comes out now. Flatter upping the cast form special attack but confusing it. Air Slash does a ton of damage and the cast form is already out of the confusion. Grassy Terrain, I don't think it only will heal the cast form up because Togekiss's flying type will not give it any healing, so pretty much a bad play from Togekiss there, as Corrosive Gas gets rid of the Togekiss's Leopard Berry. Shadow Claw is immune from the normal type as Inferno burns the Togekiss here. And Togekiss goes for Boom Burst, doing a ton of damage, but Razor Shell does take out the Togekiss here. And Reversal doing a lot of damage there to the Ordino, as Ordino is now faster. It goes for Fly. Reflect type wouldn't have worked anyway. They're both normal type. It wouldn't have really done anything. Stored Power for super effective damage to the Kommo here. Aqua Step upping the Kommo speed and also giving Ordino Insomnia, making it so it can't sleep. Aerial Ace there. Guard Split. And Kommo tries to go for Sheer Cold, but it doesn't hit as Gunk Shot does a lot of damage and poisons the Kommo here. Teeter Dance upping the Ordino's attack but confusing it as Kommo is down to the poison. And Ordino heals through Roost as it's down to the Delmise to get victory in this, and Wild Bolt Storm paralyzes it. It goes for Happy Hour. Not really sure, that's not going to do anything. It tries to go for Healing Wish, but it can't, as there's no other Pokemon left on the field. Shell Side Arm doing a little bit of damage as Hydreigon puts a substitute on the field, and you think that could be the end of this match. Poison Tail coming out. Now, Horn Drill, it did actually hit, but it's immune from Mr. Kelly. The Delmise here. Powder Snow doing a lot of damage. Super effective there. Lumina Crash is immune by the Dark type Hydreigon. Court Change, but there are no conditions on the field right now. Double Hit is immune as Mr. Kelly is a ghost type. Night Slash takes out the Delmise there, and Lapis will take the first game and leads 1-0. In our second match, they start off with Cast Form and Metapod this time. Maisie opting to switch their start, but A Lapis sticks with the Metapod. Psychic Fangs there. Swift coming out now. Final Gambit takes out the Metapod, and Cast Form goes down as well, though. I'm not sure if Maisie really wanted that Barb Barrage for some super effective damage on the Togekiss. Thunderwave paralyzes the Ludicolo and it immediately comes into effect there as Sword Stance comes out. Gunk Shot does do a lot of damage though. Terrain Pulse won't do a whole lot because there's no terrain up on the field as Moonblast lowers the special attack of the Togekiss, which is the main thing it wants really. Psycho Cut there's a little bit of damage. Crush Claw, Bug Buzz, doing a little bit of damage. Hydro Steam there. Crab Hammer doesn't quite take the Togekiss out. The Scorching Sands does resisted damage. Mudshot is immune. It is a flying type. Fell Stinger does take out the Ludicolo there, as the Togekiss is at 3 times attack, but it won't get to utilize it as Dynamic Punch KOs it now, and we are now in a 2v2 situation as Charge Beam misses and Dynamic Punch goes onto the Kommo now as it is now confused. Eerie Spout are doing some damage and lowering the PP of Metronome. A Nuzzle paralyzes the Ordino here. Crab Hammer doing a bit. Powder Snow, the Fell Stinger won't do a whole lot. Pluck just completely takes the Ordino's Leatherberry, and it's on a time limit with Metronome's Ordino uh, there. As Ancient Power comes out, it does not get the Omni Boost there. Heal Bell will fail. There's no status conditions on Maisie's side. Accelerock not doing a load of damage. Gunk Shot coming out there. Not quite KOing it. Pollen Puff does take out the Ordinary now, as Hydreigon is the final Pokemon left for Lapis's side. And the Sandstorm comes out now. I'm not sure if that was a good play by Maisie there, as it goes for tea time, and both teams have to eat their leper berries now. And Tackle does KO the Kommo here. Spark does a little bit of damage here. Psychic Terrain is going to come out now. Agility and the speed will boost its speed, and the Sandstorm is now gone. It goes for Thunderfang. Here, Spirit Shackle is resisted by the Hydreigon, but still does an okay amount of damage. You tried to go for Healing Wish, but it doesn't work. It's the last Pokemon in the field. Calm Mind from the Hydreigon could be scary, but Rock Blast comes out and hits 3 times. Solar Beam, I think that would do a lot of damage, but minimize. It still hits, and it did do quite a decent chunk of damage, but Morning Sun heals Mr. Kelly almost up to 4, and goes for Curse, and that takes down the Hydreigon, as we are going to move on to our third match of the set. It's who are they going to lead with? It's Ludicolo and Ordino. As switch from both sides. Lapis not actually starting with Metapod this time, which is a little bit of a surprise. Horn Leech comes out there. Focus Energy makes it so Ludicolo has more chance of a critical hit and does burn the Ordino there. Roar of Time will do a lot of damage, but it has to recharge though. Ice Fang doing a little bit of damage to Ludicolo there. Water Spout is quad resisted, so not going to do a whole lot. Parting Shot and the Ludicolo's out into the cast form. It The Ordinals fly now, Hydro Pump misses, Fly connects, and does not very much damage. Parting Shot once again, lowering the attack and special attack of the Ordino even more, and Thunder paralyzes the Ludicolo. Fire Blast out now. Burn doesn't quite take the Ordino out, as the burn will connect before the bind, so Ludicolo will not take any bind damage there. Sweet Kiss confusing the Metapod. It won't hit itself, as Razor Shell gets a kill on the Ludicolo. Here comes Hell Yeah, the cast form out now. Triple Dive. Hits 3 times as the Metapod hits itself in confusion. Final Gambit once again taking both the cast form and Metapod out. I'm not sure if that was wanted by Maisie's side. Muddy Water lowering the accuracy of Komodo, and Thunder Punch, that would have done a lot of damage, but missed the explosion, leaving it in a 1 versus 1 situation between Delmise and Hydreigon. Smart Strike doing a little bit of damage there. Seismic Toss doing a decent chunk there. Healing Wish, that's the third time I think now either side has tried to go for Healing Wish when they're the last Pokemon on the field. But, Woodhammer does a little bit of recoil as well, but it did do a decent chunk of damage. Darkest Lariat does KO the Delmise, as Lapis will take the lead 2 games to 1 as we move on to our 4th match of the set. It's going to be Ludicolo and Metapod here. Magnet Rise, making the Ludicolo immune to ground type. Flying Press does a decent amount for a Giga Churd, the Metapod. I can't speak right now. I'm trying to do this live, which is a little bit hard for me to do. So, Surf doing a ton of damage there. Razor Leaf misses, but the burn does take the Ludicolo out. Bitterblade takes Metapod out there as Audiobook the Ordinal comes out here. Stuffed Cheeks up in the defense of cast form, but eating Slapperberry, and Aquaring and Paralysis on Ordino. That could actually help Ordino quite a lot. And the Wish, though, the Wish will probably heal Ordino back up to full, and it will. Trick Room, I think that just makes I think Ordino's faster now. They're both paralyzed. Aqua Jet there coming out. Vice Grip. Here comes Thrash. If that could do a lot if it just hits enough times, and it will get a third one off. Aura Sphere doing a ton of damage, and it is confused, the cast form. It tries to go for Toxic, but it won't work because of the paralysis. That would have been huge if the Ordino wasn't paralyzed. Sword Stance up in the attack of cast form, but paralysis makes it so it can't move. Cast form snaps out of its confusion and uses Magnet Rise, making it immune to ground. Task Shot lowers its speed and makes it weaker to fire. Psychic Terrain coming out now. And Toxic Spikes also on the field for Maisie. And that, I think, is looking really in the favour of Lapis right now, as the Aquaring is slowly going to heal the Ordino bit by bit. Force Palm does a decent amount of damage here, but Komoro comes out, is poisoned, it takes Stealth Rock's damage. Endeavor is immune, it doesn't have lower HP right now, beat up, doing not very much, but the poison just going to continue to chip away at it as Komoro goes for no retreat. Gravity now. Grassy Glide does a little bit. Frost Breath coming out for some super effective damage here. Flower Trick finally does take the Ordino out, but it's not a very good situation for Maisie here. Heavy Slam does a lot of damage, though Frost Breath does take the Komoro out, as Dalmise really needs a miracle to save Maisie here, as it is poisoned. It's on a timer here. Water Shuriken, not gonna do a whole lot, but how many times will it hit? Only 3 times. Ice Punch doesn't quite take the Togekiss out. Mystical Fire does take Dalmise out, and that, I think, gives the set win to Lapis, and Lapis will move on to the semis, a 3-1 win for Lapis. As we move on to our final quarterfinals match between Mid and Biscuit. These two actually played each other last week. Mid won that 2-0 in a little bit of an upset there. Can Mid maybe pull that off again here? Because Poison Gas, Magic Bounce, it won't work on the Steel type. As the Wobbuffet goes for no retreat here. Dire Claw, Dark Pulse for some super effective damage. Attract, but the Clink is genderless, so it won't work on it. Hone Claws upping the Clink's attack and accuracy now. Hold Back, coming out. His Judgment, and Cotton Spore, Magic Bounce, but Clear Body just doesn't care about the Magic Bounce. Aurora Beam, now Sticky Web, lowering the speed of whatever comes out onto the field after Clink. Soft Boiled, healing the Clink back up to full. Dragon Rush, now his stored power, doing a little bit of damage. Power Trip does an okay amount of damage there. Bite doing a decent amount. His Tailwind now making the Wobbuffet faster now. Dragon Claw is going to be resisted by the Clink as Acid Spray comes out now. And it tried to no retreat again, but it does fail as it's already no retreated, and already it's lost almost all its stat boost, as the Clink does take down a Wobbuffet. Is Misty Terrain coming out. Moonblast now, and Psyshock is resisted by Clink. His Tail Slap coming out, only hitting twice though. Mid would have hoped for more hits there. Water Pulse doesn't get the confusion off. Fire Fang does a decent amount, and Clink goes for Recover. Nightshade now. Crab Hammer doing a decent chunk of damage. Poison Gas is immune by the Clink. Oh, but Clink now has to struggle as Eruption takes down the Clink, as Pollen the Love Disc comes out now. Cross Poison doing a decent chunk. Flare Blitz doing a little bit there. Ice Spinner. Dire Claw does take the Dash Spun out. And here comes Tinkerton out now for Biscuit. Bleak Windstorm doing a decent amount of damage. And Gigaton Hammer, Pollen using Tinkerton's own move against it. I'm not sure how Tinkerton felt about that. Clearly not very well, as Bullet Seed down the... Oh, but Guillotine is a one-hit KO on the Snorlax, and the Snorlax won't get to do anything as it's down for the Garchomp le left to do everything now. Wing attack for resisted damage. Hammer Arm does a load of damage here. It's still going to take damage from the Rough Skin. Sand Tomb will take the Tinkerton out, but Garchomp does have to deal with Curse Body, U-turn, and Thunder Wave paralyzing the uh, Dragapult, but I think you more would have wanted like a poison or toxic, but Aqua Step does take the Garchomp down as Biscuit leads 1-0 as we move on to a second match. Here we go. It's Wobbuffet and Clink to start off this match, as Wobbuffet is already trapped in a whirlpool now. Weather Ball coming out from Clink, doing a little bit of damage. Frenzy Plant doing a decent chunk as the Wobbuffet has to recharge. Snipe Shot there. Whirlpool still doing damage. Oh, but Heal Pulse, but Magic Bounce just heals the Clink. A rare sight of Magic Bounce working against the Wobbuffet. That wasn't a very good turn for Wobbuffet, but a genius play from Clink as Shadow Sneak takes down the Wobbuffet. This Clink is just making use of the Wobbuffet to its advantage here. Flatter upping the special attack of Clink, but confusing it. Superpower does take it down as it's super effective. As Pollen the Love Disc comes out now. Shore Up will fail, it's already on full health, so it can't heal. Psybeam. Teeter Dance confusing Pollen. Waterfall now. Entrainment gives Pollen Mold Break. I'm not sure what that really does, but Charge coming out from Tinkerton here, and Pollen is Calm Minding, and Payback does a ton of damage there. Shockwave coming out here, and Baton Pass now goes into Dashbun. Leaf Blade coming out. Roar of Time does not actually KO Pollen. Tearful Look lowering the attack and special attack of Good Boy the Dashbun as it goes Pollen tries to go for a rollout, but it will hit itself in confusion and kill itself. Withdraw now, and Snorlax goes for Explosion, and once again is immediately gone. Out of 2 matches the Snorlax has been in here, it's gone for 1 turn, and the Garchomp is disabled. So that's not going to end well for Mid here. I think it's still disabled, I believe. Yes, it is, and Electric Terrain here, and Struggle does KO the Garchomp. And we move on to our third match as Biscuit leads this set 2-0 here. Wobbuffet and Clink. Now, Icy Wind, lowering the speed of Wobbuffet, Fury Attack, hitting 4 times, 5 times. It does get the full 5 hits. Psychic Rain now. Screech there. Barb Barrage coming out now. Blast Burn is going to do a ton of damage to the Clink there. Steel Roller actually working in terrain there. Sing. Magic Bounce puts the Clink to sleep though. Smart Strike does a little bit of damage there. Morning Sun and the Wobbuffet heals up. And Low Kick doesn't quite KO the Clink, but it's pretty much dead anyway, and Fury Attack does finally KO the Clink. Growl Magic Bounce though lowers the attack of Pollen. Sing once again, that's only gonna put yourself to sleep. I don't know what the Mid's team is doing right now. It has Magic Bounce. Just attack it. Don't bother with status moves. Just attack the thing. And Wobbuffet goes for Calm Mind now. Mud Shot. It's gonna lower the Wobbuffet speed even more. Milk Drink, and the Wobbuffet's already back up to full. Yay, that's very fun. Sludge Wave now. Petal Blizzard for some super effective damage there. Volt Switch, and Pollen is going to switch into Snorlax. Hurricane for some decent amount. Psych Up, copying the stats of Wobbuffet. And when you look at this, Snorlax is actually doing something in this match. Endeavor now. Steel Wing coming out. Infestation, and that will trap the Wobbuffet. But the Wobbuffet will set up spikes. Growth is going to up the attack and special attack of Snorlax. Tail Whip lowering the defense of Snorlax though. Fire Lash, and I think Wobbuffet is going to be down to Infestation as Vinyl Whip does a little bit on the Snorlax. Out comes Dashbun. Tries to go for Poison Gas, but it won't work on Snorlax as it has immunity. Now Quick Attack, not doing very much. Sleep Powder putting the Dashbun to sleep now. Double Kick, hitting twice of course, doing 8% of damage. Flame Wheel is going to do a little bit there. Giga Impact for a ton of damage, but has to recharge though. But Superpower KOs the Snorlax there as Mid once again sends out the Love Disc. Growth now upping the attack and special attack of Pollen. Mud Slap is going to lower the accuracy of the Dash Bun, but Rollout is going to continue to hit though, and does eventually KO the Love Disc. Guard Swap, it swaps its defense. Rollout does indeed miss though. Fire Fang, as I think it has it won't work as the Dashman had well-baked body. Mega Punch. Oh, Belly Drum coming out now, maximizing the Tinkaton's attack stat. And it ups its evasion as well. Knockoff would have gotten rid of its upper bow. Shell Side Arm doing a lot of damage. Sticky Web coming out now. Power Whip. That Draco Meteor is immune. It is a fairy type, so dragon type moves cannot hit it. Wild Charge out here. Dynamic Punch. That entrainment, and that gives Tinkerton rough skin. I'm not sure you wanted that, but Shadow Claw takes the Garchomp out anyway, as Biscuit wins the set 3-0, and we have our semi-finals out. As we have our semi-finals decided here, and that will be Jet versus Bats and Lapis versus Biscuit. You'll have to see those next week, but for now, you get to see our 9th place match, if you care about it, between Crystal and Seahawk. Now, this match, unlike the others, will be a best of 7. Unlike the quarterfinals, which was a best of 5, the semi-finals and finals, the semi-finals and third place match is a best of 7, whilst the final will be a best of 9. But anyways, let's start off with this match, as Crystal starts off with Shuckle and Seahawk starts with Gallade, and Gallade does a bit of funny splashing as Barbarage comes out from Shuckle and poisons the Gallade. Water Gun now. Work Up upping the attack and special attack of the Shuckle. Probably needed that. It doesn't really have any attack and special attack to begin with. Extreme speed, doing quite a decent amount of damage there. Brutal swing coming out for a little bit of damage. Accelerock is resisted. Gallade will die to the poison next time. Spin out does a chunk of damage. Oh, but Pain Split saves the Gallade for now. Bitter Blade comes out. And Trop Kick does finally KO the Gallade. Here comes Uxie, Randomizer Pog, and it makes Shuckle Water type now, Freeze Dry. Stomping Tantrum does KO the Shuckle as Monkey the Panzer comes out now. Dual Wing Beat hitting twice for a little bit of damage. Foul Play. Here's Mortal Spin and poisons the Panzer. Shadow Punch for super effective damage here. Confusion, the Draining Kiss now. And Razor Shell will KO the Panzer. As a Ribbon, the Sylveon is going to come out. Oh, but Raw just sends the Asian Apostle out. Uxie, I don't think, wanted to fight the Sylveon now. And Jawlock just forces the Plusle to stay in. So, you know, Giga Drain heals the Uxie up a bit as the Asian must recharge Mud Shot, lowering the speed of the Asian Twister now. Electro Web is going to lower the Uxie speed as well, making the Plusle fast enough. But Fake Out won't work. Fling and Plusle used its Lappa Berry as Uxie got rid of it, as Discharge takes the Uxie out. Block makes it so Sunflora can't escape, and Sunflora is going to go for Rollout. Brian Rollout does take out the Asian as Ribbon Sylveon comes out, as Rollout misses though. Misty Terrain coming out. Healing Wishell. Sunflora just kills itself. Great. It's a one-on-one situation now. Water Gun coming out now. Acid Armor upping the defense of the Sylveon. Bind, and that is going to do chip damage to the Sylveon every turn though. Mega Horn. Eerie Impulse is going to lower the special attack of the Zoroark. Shadow Force, that's going to be stab damage, and it does a decent amount of damage. Pollen Puff doing a lot of damage here. Ribbon has to KO here, but Tri Attack takes the Zoroark. Takes Sylveon out anyway, as we move on to the second battle between Crystal and Seahawk, as they once again start off with Shuckle and Gallade. Dazzling Gleam is super effective, won't do a lot. They both have defense boosts on them. Pluck stealing Shuckle's Lappa Berry here. And Quiver Dance upping the Gallade stats even more. And Ingrain coming out. Thunderbolt. And Iron Tail here. Power Swap, swapping the attacking stats here. Recycle. And this is looking very good for Seahawk so far. Magnet Rise fails there. Rock Smash. But Gallade just keeps healing through the Ingrain. Disarming Voice is not going to do a lot coming from a Shuckle. Hydro Cannon does a lot of damage there. Future Sight, that's not going to do much coming from a Shuckle. Frost Breath done. Here comes Ribbon the Sylveon, and Gallade goes for Harden, upping its defense even more. Stealth Rock and Flip turn, and the Glade is forced to go out. Power trick from Ribbon. Psyblade doing a lot of damage. Cross poison does get the poison off on the Uxie as it takes the future sight attack. Axe kick does connect on Ribbon. First impression won't work. Terrain pulse won't do a lot as they're not in terrain. X scissor coming out. Wish. Oh, but self-destruct. Ribbon dies, but you know, took out the Uxie in the process, so it didn't get that wish. Oh, but Gallade just goes for wish as well. Okay, Phantom Force did. Oh, but Luna Dance kills it. That twice. Seahawk's Pokemon has tried to go for wish. To only just die instantly. Blaze Kick will miss as Dig KOs the Shuckle as Pansy is going to be the one coming out here as Seahawk switches to Sunflora. Poison Powder is immune on the grass type. Force Palm. Fire Blast does a ton of damage, as well as the sun being out doing even more there. And Teleport, it is forced to switch into the Plusle. Facade does take Sunflora out though. Mystical Fire does a lot on the Plusle. Bone Rush comes out here, hits only twice for the Plusle. Air Cutter there. Revelation Dance coming out now, doing a lot of damage. Fire Lash does KO the Plusle, and it's down to the Pansy. And once again, it looks like Seahawk has the advantage, but Shell Smash is an interesting play. Supersonic confuses the Zoroark, and it hits itself, and the confusion takes it out at half health. And it is tied up at 1-1. We move on to a third match between the two sides as they once again start off with Shuckle and Gallade. Acupressure coming out now. Sacred Sword here. Future Sight going to be coming out from the Gallade scene. Supersonic confuses the Shuckle, breaks through it on this first one. Sandsear Storm does miss. Steel Roller there. Overheat is not going to do a whole lot there. It adds the Shuckle does take future sight damage. Flatter now. Here comes the Leer lowering the defense of the Glade. Sludge Bomb there. Power Gem is not going to do a whole lot to the Glade. Leafage now. Here is Thunder Shock, which did a whole 0%. Well done, Shuckle. Ice Beam is a crit, still only does 7% because, you know, Shuckle has no attacking stats. Sand Attack is going to lower the accuracy of Gallade. Oh, and the Shuckle's accuracy is also lowered. Iron Head coming out, it does connect. Flipped turn, forcing the Glade out as Uxie comes out. Powder Snow does a whole 1%. Yay. Break now. Poison Gas misses the Uxie. Will-O-Wisp and Shuckle's basically down now. It survives on 1%, but it's dead now. Bye bye, Shuckle. And Yawn now, making the Pansy drowsy as Crystal opts to switch into Ribbon now. Phantom Force. Now, Iron Tail misses as it is, as he did disappear there. Metal Burst for a lot of damage there. Confide lowering the special attack of Ribbon, but Uxie's special defense is even more down as Meteor Mash did a ton of damage there. Dragon Pulse is immune. Crush Claw now. lowering the defense of Yuxi. Belly Drum will fail as it does not have enough health to set it up. Rock Tomb now. Shadow Sneak doesn't quite KO the Yuxi. Tar Shot, lowering the ribbon speed and making it weaker to fire. Fairy Wind does KO Ribbon though as Panzer comes out. Now upping its special defense. Confide lowers its special attack though. Earthquake won't work on the Levitate Yuxi. Torch Song is resisted but ups the Yuxi special attack. And once again, Pants is going for a ground type move. I don't know what it's doing. It has Levitate. Okay. And Snipe Shot KOs the Panzer. Very smart plays from Panzer there. Confide lowers the special attack of. Oh, but Plusle is subject to torment now, and I think it's going to be pretty much. Oh, but it can use Metronome once every 2 turns, and that is pretty much a game now. Zen Headbutt does KO it. Seahawk takes a 2-1 lead here. There's Shuckle and Glade out now. Double team from Glade, upping its evasion. Powder Snow. Here's the Thunder Punch coming out. It doesn't connect. Freeze Dry. Here's Flare Blitz trying to come out. And Disable. Shuckle can't use Metronome, forcing it to switch out, and Ribbon is going to come out here. Swagger is going to up the attack of Ribbon, but confuse it, and it hits itself in confusion. And it's poisoned. And once again, it hits itself in confusion. Ribbon, what are you doing? And the confusion is down. Here's Supersonic, which misses. Iron Tail KO's Ribbon, and it did practically nothing there as Shuckle once again comes back out. Here is Shelter up the defense of Shuckle, and once again, double team. But Toxic, though. Toxic could play a huge part here as Shuckle goes for Aqua Ring. That could also do a whole lot of damage. Tailwind, that wasn't really necessary, as Glade is going to keep on taking toxic damage. Trick Room, does that make the Shuckle faster? Yeah, it does make the Shuckle faster. Just go for Heal Belt, but won't work. No status conditions on Crystal side. And Toxic takes the scary Glade out. Shell Smash now, but lowering its defensive stats for attack. Interesting from Shuckle as Icicle Spear hits 4 times now. Psychic now. Trick Room in a Trick Room returns it to normal. Vine Whip, Tail Slap. Here is Shockwave now. Dragon Darts will hit twice for a little bit of damage. Bubble Beam does a decent chunk for and it uses Haze. Not very smart from Shuckle there. Sweet Scent lowering the evasion of Yuxi. And Mean Look makes it so Shuckle cannot escape. I don't think Crystal was planning on switching out anyway. Here comes Magma Storm. Petal Blizzard now. Here is Zing Zap. Then Headbutt now. Sand Tomb won't work on the Levitate Yuxi, but it's already trapped in a Magma Storm. Rock Tomb, and I think it dies to Magma Storm here. And it will, as Sunflora is going to come out now. Water Pledge does a ton of damage as a critical hit and almost takes out the Shuckle. Quiver Dance, all getting stat beasts on the Sunflora there. But Shuckle is stockpiling now. Stuffed Cheeks. Sunflora eats his Leper Berry uh, for more defense. Sansei Storm doesn't quite KO the Shuckle once again. Reflect Type makes the Shuckle grass now. Growl lowers the attack of Shuckle. Brave Bird, and it's still not down yet. Swallow. Cotton Guard ups the defense of Shuckle even more. His Circle Throw forcing the Shuckle out though. Swift does a ton of damage. Fire Punch gets a crit and takes the Sunflora out, leaving the Hisuian Zoroark, the only one left on the field for Seahawk. It's a 3v1, but Shuckle and Pansear on low health. Oh, but Moonlight heals the Pansear back up to full, and Spatial Ren does a lot of damage. Mystical Fire doing a lot of damage there, and it also lowers the special attack of Zoroark. Lunges are going to be resisted. The sun is still up. Outrage coming out as Shuckle comes in now. Outrage does KO the Shuckle. And it's Plusle out now. Outrage doing a little bit there, and Zoroark is confused. Smackdown. Here's Drain Punch, healing the Zoroark a little bit. And Lunar Blessing heals Plusle. As Zoroark snaps out of confusion, Metal Sound lowers the special defense of Plusle. Ally Switch won't work as this is not a doubles battle. Revelation Dance KOs the Plusle as it is going to be 3-1 to Seahawk now. Seahawk only needs one more battle to win the set here. Hornleech now. Lunge coming out. And Parasol comes out here. Flamethrower. No. Stomping Tantrum. Mean Look. And Shuckle can't escape. It means it will go down to the Parasol. Poison on the Glade. Yeah. It does switch, and Shuckle goes down to the Parasol. Power Trick. Now Dark Pulse for some super effective damage onto the Uxie. Power Whip. And Thunder Shock now. And Aqua Cutter does not quite take down the Uxie as it does get the wish off. And now Ribbon is confused. Spatial Ren doing a lot of damage. Here's Grass Pledge now. And Ribbon hits itself in confusion. And Uxie does go down as it did use Final Gambit. I don't know what that play was there. Ice Hammer as Ribbon goes down. Glade is going to continue to be damaged by the poison as Pansy sets up a substitute, and Eruption is resisted. Sky Attack. Electro Web does fade the substitute as Sky Attack hits and does a lot of damage. KOs the Glade there as Sunflora is coming out now. Here's Dig from Pansy. Dig there. Razor Leaf doesn't really do a whole lot as Fire Pledge is going to do a ton of damage there. Fury Swipes now. Wing attack KOs the Sunflower though, as Zoroark comes out here. Roost heals the Panzer now. Heat Crush do a little bit of damage there. Sword Stance now. Here's Tail Whip, lowering the defense of the Panzer. Pain Split, healing Panzer up a bit and a little bit of damage being done to the Zoroark. Here's Dazzling Gleam. Scorching Sands is super effective and is going to KO the Panzer, and it's once again a 1v1 between Plusle and Zoroark. Swift is immune. Rock Polish makes it faster. Worry Seed gives it Insomnia. Sweet Scent lowers the evasion of the Asian. Night Days does a decent chunk, and it also lowers the accuracy, but Knockoff is going to KO the Zoroark. And it is going to be a 3-2 right now, as we move on to our 6th match. They once again start off with Shuckle and Gallade. Aura Sphere comes out here. Moonlight healing the Shuckle once again back up to full. But Heat Wave comes out now. Here is Spirit Shackle. Shelter now ups the defense of Shuckle, but Guard Swap switches the defense beast onto Gallade. Flatter ups the special attack of the Shuckle, but confuses it. Horn Drill misses. That would have been an Oko, as Shuckle hits itself in confusion. Cotton Spore lowers its speed. Not that it matters, as Shuckle has literally 0 speed. And Shuckle's special defense is lowered here. Aqua Tail now. Stuffed Cheeks upping the Gallade's defense even more. Any physical move onto this Gallade will do virtually nothing. Magical Leaf now. Lava Plume. Here is Fire Blast doing a little bit. Here's now Sacred Sword doesn't quite take it. Low Kick doesn't really do much. Ice Beam now, as Ribbon now comes out. Dragon Touch is immune on the Fairy type. It tries to Roost, but it's already at full health. The Roost would have been helpful here, but Wild Charge now. Blade on half health. Here is Horn Attack. Synthesis heals Ribbon up, and Air Slash comes out. Sand Attack lowering the accuracy of Gallade, and Roost heals Ribbon all the way back up to full, and Dragon Claw is immune. Aqua Cutter doesn't do a whole lot. Earthquake once again does a lot to the Sylveon. Stored Power misses the Sylveon. Here is Giga Impact KOing the Gallade, but Sylveon has to recharge here. Dragon Claw is immune, so that's a waste of the recharge move from Uxie. Bitter Malice now, lowering the attack of Ribbon. And Play Rough is going to do a decent amount. Mud Slap won't work on the Levitate Uxie. Mega Drain does a little bit of damage. And Phantom Force here, and that's going to be super effective damage on the Uxie, but didn't do a whole lot. Fiery Dance KOs the Sylveon, as the Panzer comes out now. Triple Dive, it's going to hit once, twice, 3 times for a load of damage onto the Panzer. Rock Blast KOs the Panzer, and it's down to the Plusle to save this match. Vine Whip is going to do a little bit of damage, and Uxie's in a good position here to win this match. Calm Mind upping its special stats, Circle throw now, and it forces out the Uxie into the Sunflora. Jaw lock, forcing the Sunflora in now. Thunderfang, not going to work, but Lightning Rod ups the special attack of the Plusle. Here's then Headbutt for a decent chunk. Morning Sun heals the Plusle right back to full Rock Polish, nullifying its speed stat. Dragon Dance now upping the Sunflora's speed and attack now. Electro Web getting rid of its speed. Soft Boiled healing Sunflora to full. Hyper Beam now does a ton of damage. Sleep Powder is immune. That's a wasted move from the Asian. Mystical Fire is going to do a lot though. And Drill Peck won't do very much onto the electric type tier 4 look, lowering its attack and special attack stats, but Frenzy Plant does take the Plusle down. Seahawk will take the set 4-2. We'll see you next week for the final 4 video, and that is going to be it for this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.